Hello, my name is Abigail Cavazos, and today I'll be talking about the agricultural industry in South Africa. South Africa is located at the south of the continent Africa. It is known for its beautiful coastline, its wines, grapes, but also due to a long, sad history of apartheid, which was a white supremacist regime that enabled discrimination against Black South Africans, and we still see its effects to this day. Today, we'll be talking about qualitative variables, quantitative variables that can be considered risks, opportunities, and overall, what trends are we seeing in the agricultural sector of the country? Let's begin. Now, the production of the main crops that they have are actually, in fact, cash crops, which is what we'll be focusing on today. Sugarcane, maize, and potatoes are the main ones that we see. So specifically what we're seeing that the production of sugarcane in South Africa is that it is decreasing, and this is not the most ideal. And now we have production of maize. This is very volatile industry. It's not stable. We can see that it is slightly increasing, but very volatile with drastic increases and decreases. Now, production of potatoes, it is by far smaller than the production of maize and sugarcane in the country, but we're still seeing that it's growing, and this is obviously ideal for any sector. So now, value of export maize. This was one of the most drastic increases and decreases, and we're seeing that its exports internationally is definitely not stable and definitely something to be aware of. Now, the value of agricultural commodities being exported. Now, in general, we're seeing that exports definitely, we're seeing an increase, a little bit of a decrease, but overall, there is an increase in the country, and this is an ideal. Although we saw that in maize, it was definitely decreasing, and it was not stable. Overall, we're seeing that almost all crops and products are increasing in its exports value. Now, here we have the global climate risk. We're seeing here that down here, where South Africa is, it is definitely not ideal. There are definitely high indicators of a global climate risk, and this will definitely hinder production and harvesting of goods and crops. So now the pollution in the country is definitely high, not ideal. In 2019, it definitely has decreased from 2010, as we can see right here. But air pollution will definitely hinder and be a very major risk for the agricultural industry as it enables vulnerability in plants. Now, here we have number of employed people solely in 2022. We're seeing here that is in 8th place, which this number is pretty ideal. There's around 32,000 farms in the country. And we're seeing that this number definitely reflects the amount of average number, which is around 20 to 30. And if you multiply around 27 times 32,000, you get around 873,000. So this is definitely ideal, and it's a pretty good indicator for the amount of farms that there are in the country. Now, the total income of the agriculture industry, we're seeing that it's definitely having an increase. This is ideal, and income for the country is good, and this is really a great indicator. Now, the sad part is the qualitative variables, and now we'll be addressing majorly the social risks that there are. 2019, there were conflicts of having white farmers who came from colonizers, having them to not own farmland anymore and to give it back to tribes of South Africa. In 2020, we're seeing that there were white farmers being killed, and they were, protesting because of it. And now in 2021, we saw that there was looting and riots happening due to a former president having been imprisoned, and this was a major impact on farmers, as one of the main lootings that were happening that were when farm trucks were delivering to supermarkets and just markets in general, they were being looted, and there was no supply for supermarkets and caused lots of lines. And then as of recently, 2022, farmers were hiring people from other countries and giving them lower wages as they thought they could. And this was a sign of xenophobia, and really there was just lots of protests against that. So now to conclude, the main opportunities that there are in the country is international export. Currently, the many export to the EU and Asian countries, and there's definitely an opportunity there to do more exports, as one of their main crops are cash crops, which is an ideal situation. And one of their main risks are obviously their social risks and climate change. Now, some mitigation strategies that can be done is for the social risks of the protesting, can be to enable dialogue and provide services of support to citizens. And then lastly, integrate more tree planting, making the air more healthy and filled with oxygen, and also you perform sustainable land usage. So this will be all. Thank you so much. And here are my references. Thank you.